Page 113.
Is he kind to the dog?
Yes, he's kind to it.
Are they afraid of the principal?
Yes, they're afraid of him.
Is he rude to you and me? Yes, he's rude to us.
Is she bored with the book?
Yes, she's bored with it. Are they tired of you? Yes, they're tired of us.
Page 114.
Is he kind to the cat?
No, he isn't. He's mean to it.
Are they afraid of the janitor?
No, they aren't. They're rude to him.
Is she rude to us? No, she isn't. She's polite to us. Is she bored with the magazine?
No, she isn't. She's interested in it.
Is she tired of us? No, she isn't. She's interested in us.
Page 115.
To be well off is to be rich.
The old man is well off.
The actor is well off.
Bankers are well off.
Professional golfers are well off.
The Queen is well off. Page 116.
The widow isn't well off.
His servants aren't well off.
Bank clerks aren't well off.
Their caddies aren't well off.
Her maid isn't well off.
Page 117.
To be in the way is to be an unnecessary bother or to be blocking the view.
You're in front of the TV. You're in the way.
Sharon's mother is busy. Sharon is in the way. He's in my chair. He's in the way.
The chair is in the doorway. It's in the way.
The dog is at my feet. It's in the way.
Page 118. He's beside the TV. He isn't in the way.
Her little brother is in the crib. He isn't in the way.
He's behind the chair. He isn't in the way.
It's beside the door. It isn't in the way.
It's in the doghouse. It isn't in the way. Page 119.
To be better off is to be happier or in a better physical state.
The children are happy with their mother. They're better off at home.
A sick person is better off at home.
A fat person is better off with exercise.
A bored person is better off with a hobby.
Animals are better off free. Page 120.
They're sad at the nursery. They aren't better off at the nursery.
He isn't better off at work.
He isn't better off in front of the TV.
She isn't better off asleep.
It isn't better off in a cage.
Page 121.
To be in charge of is to manage or to administer.
A captain is in charge of a ship.
A general is in charge of an army.
A manager is in charge of a factory.
A principal is in charge of a school.
An accountant is in charge of the accounts. Page 122.
The ship's steward isn't in charge of the ship. He's in charge of the money.
A sergeant isn't in charge of an army. He's in charge of training.
A foreman isn't in charge of the factory. He's in charge of the workers.
A teacher isn't in charge of the school. She's in charge of the classroom.
A cashier isn't in charge of the accounts. He's in charge of the cash register.
Page 123.
To be named after is to have the same name.
His name is Peter. His father's name is Peter. He's named after his father.
John is named after his uncle.
Jane is named after her mother.
Susan is named after her godmother.
Elizabeth is named after a queen. Page 124.
Ronald isn't named after his father. He's named after a president.
Fernando isn't named after his uncle. He's named after a baseball player.
Brooke isn't named after her mother. She's named after an actress.
Margaret isn't named after a queen. She's named after a prime minister.
Grace isn't named after her godmother. She's named after a princess.
Page 125.
To be cut out to be is to be apt.
Her fingers are long. She's musical. She's cut out to be a pianist.
He's curious. He's intelligent. He's cut out to be a scientist.
She's kind to children. She's cut out to be a mother.
You're good in the kitchen. You're cut out to be a cook.
He's interested in cars. He's cut out to be a mechanic. Page 126.
Her voice is terrible. She isn't cut out to be a singer.
He's afraid of animals. He isn't cut out to be a biologist.
He's mean to children. He isn't cut out to be a father.
You're clumsy with dishes. You aren't cut out to be a waiter.
He's a bad driver. He isn't cut out to be a racer.
Page 127.
To be becoming is to be attractive.
She's pretty in the green dress. The green dress is becoming to her.
White is becoming to a child.
Vertical stripes are becoming to a fat person.
Blue is becoming to a redhead.
Long skirts are becoming to old ladies. Page 128.
The purple dress isn't becoming to her.
Black isn't becoming to a child.
Horizontal stripes aren't becoming to a fat person.
Red isn't becoming to a redhead.
Miniskirts aren't becoming to old ladies.
Page 129.
To be bound for is to be on the way to.
He's on vacation. He's bound for the beach.
He's 18 years old. He's bound for the university.
I'm a racer. I'm bound for the track.
She's in the car. She's bound for the country.
They're on the ship. They're bound for Europe. Page 130.
He's at the bus stop. He isn't bound for the beach. He's bound for the swimming pool.
He's 6 years old. He isn't bound for the university. He's bound for the elementary school.
He's a skier. He isn't bound for the track. He's bound for the ski lodge.
She's on the bus. She isn't bound for the country. She's bound for downtown.
They're on the plane. They aren't bound for Europe. They're bound for China.
Page 131.
To be a steal is to be cheap.
The sweater is $5. It's a steal.
Corn is 30 cents an ear. It's a steal.
The dress is $15. It's a steal.
The radio is $10. It's a steal.
The camera is $8. It's a steal. Page 132.
The coat is $500. It isn't a steal.
Tomatoes are $3 a pound. They aren't a steal.
The skirt is $100. It isn't a steal.
The TV set is $900. It isn't a steal.
The watch is $300. It isn't a steal. Module 5.
Page 133.
This is a chair.
This is a table.
This is a lamp.
This is a couch.
This is an ashtray.
Page 134.
These are chairs.
These are tables.
These are lamps.
These are couches.
These are ashtrays.
Page 135.
That is a pen.
That is a pencil.
That is a piece of paper.
That is a notebook.
That is an eraser.
Page 136.
Those are pens.
Those are pencils.
Those are pieces of paper.
Those are notebooks.
Those are erasers.
Page 137.
This is a panther.
This is a wolf.
This is a leopard.
This is a turtle.
This is a crow.
Page 138.
This isn't a panther. This is a deer.
This isn't a wolf. This is a tiger.
This isn't a leopard. This is a panda bear.
This isn't a turtle. This is a snake.
This isn't a crow. This is a goose.
Page 139.
These are panthers.
These are wolves.
These are leopards.
These are turtles.
These are crows.
Page 140.
These aren't panthers. These are deer.
These aren't wolves. These are tigers.
These aren't leopards. These are panda bears.
These aren't turtles. These are snakes.
These aren't crows. These are geese.
Page 141.
That's a knife.
That's a teaspoon.
That's a glass.
That's a plate.
That's a coffee pot.
Page 142.
That isn't a knife. That's a fork.
That isn't a teaspoon. That's a tablespoon.
That isn't a glass. That's a cup.
That isn't a plate. That's a bowl.
That isn't a coffee pot. That's a pitcher.
Page 143.
Those are knives.
Those are teaspoons.
Those are glasses.
Those are plates.
Those are coffee pots.
Page 144.
Those aren't knives. Those are forks.
Those aren't teaspoons. Those are tablespoons.
Those aren't glasses. Those are cups.
Those aren't plates. Those are bowls.
Those aren't coffee pots. Those are pitchers.
Page 145. Is this a paper cup?
Yes, it is.
Is this a plastic glass?
Yes, it is.
Is this a plastic spoon?
Yes, it is.
Is this a paper napkin?
Yes, it is.
Is this a salt shaker?
Yes, it is.
Page 146.
Is this a paper cup?
No, it isn't. It's a china cup.
Is this a plastic glass?
No, it isn't. It's a crystal glass.
Is this a plastic spoon?
No, it isn't. It's a silver spoon.
Is this a paper napkin?
No, it isn't. It's a cloth napkin.
Is this a salt shaker?
No, it isn't. It's a pepper shaker. Page 147. Are these coffee mugs?
Yes, they are.
Are these water tumblers?
Yes, they are.
Are these steak knives?
Yes, they are.
Are these soup spoons?
Yes, they are.
Are these dinner plates?
Yes, they are.
Page 148.
Are these coffee mugs?
No, they aren't. They're teacups.
Are these water tumblers?
No, they aren't. They're juice glasses.
Are these steak knives?
No, they aren't. They're carving knives.
Are these soup spoons?
No, they aren't. They're dessert spoons.
Are these dinner plates?
No, they aren't. They're bowls. Page 149.
Is that a comb?
Yes, it is.
Is that a curler?
Yes, it is.
Is that a toothbrush?
Yes, it is.
Is that a curling iron?
Yes, it is.
Is that a tube of toothpaste?
Yes, it is. Page 150. Is that a comb?
No, it isn't. It's a hairbrush.
Is that a curler?
No, it isn't. It's a bobby pin.
Is that a toothbrush?
No, it isn't. It's a clothes brush.
Is that a curling iron?
No, it isn't. It's a hair dryer.
Is that a tube of toothpaste?
No, it isn't. It's a bottle of shampoo.
Page 151.
Are those nail files?
Yes, they are.
Are those nail clippers?
Yes, they are.
Are those eyebrow pencils?
Yes, they are.
Are those wigs?
Yes, they are.
Are those jars of cold cream?
Yes, they are. Page 152. Are those nail files?
No, they aren't. They're tweezers.
Are those nail clippers?
No, they aren't. They're nail scissors.
Are those eyebrow pencils?
No, they aren't. They're tubes of lipstick.
Are those wigs?
No, they aren't. They're false eyelashes.
Are those jars of cold cream?
No, they aren't. They're bottles of cream rinse. Module 6.
Pages 153 and 154.
From Mr. Green for Mr. Jones.
Page 155.
Isn't that a package?
Yes, it is.
Isn't that package from Mr. Green?
Yes, it is.
Isn't it for Mr. Jones?
Yes, it is.
Isn't this telephone call for me?
Yes, it is.
Isn't this candy from your boyfriend?
Yes, it is. Page 156. Isn't that a package?
No, it isn't. It's a telegram.
Isn't that telegram from Mr. Green?
No, it isn't. It's from my father.
Isn't it for Mr. Jones?
No, it isn't. It's for me.
Isn't that message for me?
No, it isn't. It's for him. Aren't these flowers from your boyfriend?
No, they aren't. They're from my relatives.